Well, congratulations on season 6 of All American. It just premiered tonight. How excited are you for fans to see this upcoming season? And how has your leadership style evolved since season 5? And what challenges do you anticipate facing in this new role that we see with the time jump?
Okay, great. Those are three questions. Let me get the first one for you. Get the first one. So the
Okay.
first one, I'm really excited for the fans to get to partake in this new season because it's been about what, a year and 3 months
Mhm.
since we've all been able to enjoy the journey of All American. So I'm really happy that we get to dive in, and particularly this season, what I'm looking forward to having the fans experience is more football. We get to get on the gridiron quite a bit more. As the fans will see tonight, there's a lot of things that happens between Spencer, Jordan, and even Coach Kenny and their journey into making GAU who they are. The leadership style of Coach Kenny is that of heart. I love Coach Kenny because he's a player's coach. He's a man's man, and he is just that big brother, that uncle, that father figure that you need when you need some guidance, when you need some encouragement, when you need some tough love, um, and you know it's coming from a good place when he gets on your back. I really enjoy him for that, and I look forward to seeing more of that leadership style this year for the team and see where that takes them. It's all about the championship. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing how that happens. Did
Yes.
that answer all your
Yeah,
questions?
you got the question in. You're good.
Okay.
No, I was
There
gonna
was one
say,
more though. What was the last one?
say it again.
There was one more. What was the last one?
Basically, I go to the next, well, with the time jump, because we seen the premiere just premiered, but we just seen like, him, taking on a coach, and then we're seeing more stuff happening with him, especially as this new person consultant comes in and all that stuff.
Right. Yes. So I'm excited for the fans to see just what happened over the summer
Mhm.
for Spencer. How he was able to rally the team and get them all together and get to the point where they are now, where they're winning some games and on the road to the championship.
Coach Kenny's journey has seen its share of ups and downs. What lessons has he learned along the way, and how do they shape his approach in season 6?
Trusting himself. Coach Kenny has learned and is continuing to learn how to trust himself and what that looks like in his new skin, his new position, his new role. We all have a journey as men and women and growing into new positions and going to different facets in life. Okay, who are we now? How do we handle the responsibilities that we have now? How do we have to change, and what do those relationships look like? So now Coach Kenny is moving from an assistant coach, recruiter and assistant coach, to now head coach, and he's moving from a brotherly figure more to an authoritative figure while still maintaining that brotherly love, that uncle type of relationship. What does that look like? And how does he do that? How does he balance his work life with his personal life,
Mhm.
work relationships with his personal relationships? And we get to see a lot of that this season.
Mhm. How does Coach Kenny, navigate the challenges of coaching, especially with added responsibilities, as the head coach, especially when they're trying to get into the NFL, like we're seeing a little bit of that this season with, the boys and everything.
Yeah, it's a moment by moment, day by day thing. He has to go into himself. He has to look at all of the circumstances around him and ask himself, what is the best for the greater good? What is the best for not only the program, but for these young men? How, as Coach Kenny, am I going to be able to sleep at night, look myself in the mirror based on all the circumstances? Am I going to be proud of myself because of how I'm handling the situation with Spencer, with Jordan, or with my family? Or am I just going to succumb to the pressures of the establishment and go with them and not serve the men? That's Coach Kenny's battle each and every moment of every day and every episode.
With the NFL draft looming, how does Coach Kenley plan to navigate the tensions between Jordan and Spencer, especially ensuring that both players feel, supported and valued?
Continuing to be that guide, allowing Coach Kenny to be that guide within himself, keep learning and being open and vulnerable as he's going through his personal journey, and allowing them to see how great they are individually in their areas. Because as the coach and as the father figure, a mentor to them, it's my job for them to see what beauty they have and what they have to offer and prepare them for the world beyond football. So, how Coach Kenny navigates that is continuing to drill in and hone in on who each of these guys are and be that sounding board for them whenever they need it.
Mm. How does his relationship with Spencer evolve as they both navigate new chapters in their lives?
That's a great question because they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out how it evolves. What does it look like? Because with this new level of manhood and even I guess ambition that Spencer is in, he has to understand where to put Coach Kenny in his life.
Mhm.
And now Coach Kenny, because Spencer's entering the draft, Coach Kenny has to figure out what does that look like for him because everything about him being at GAU was revolving around Spencer. So they're both trying to navigate what life is going to look like potentially without one another.
Mhm.
And
It's
we all
also
know what that loss looks like for young men and particularly young black men.
Mhm. I feel like sometimes, like in portraying the show, Spencer has like this hard time trying to balance the both of them, and then he also has like the time of like hearing you, listening to you, and then like what you said about him, the pressures of not just football but also his personal life with his relationship with Liv, or with his mom or different situations like that.
Yeah, yeah, correct. And I feel like Coach Kenny has been that sounding board and that mirror for him whenever he needed it while he's trying to navigate through those relationships.
Mhm. Given Coach just Kenny's relationship with Spencer, do you anticipate his bond with Jordan evolving to a similar level of trust and camaraderie this season, especially because we really didn't see that. We saw a little bit last season of him like talking with Jordan and stuff like that, but they don't really, I feel like, have that closeness of like him like seeing that on screen. But hopefully this season, I don't know if we're going to see that more of that.
Yeah, that's a great question. Really good insight. I would really love to see that. I would love to see that relationship, evolve because he is the head coach to both of the guys.
Mm,
And that could cause some issues when there's favoritism one over the other. And being that Jordan is such a pivotal part of the team, I would love to see if that relationship evolves into more of a come kind of the same as Spencer, if not more.
mhm. Also too, will viewers get to dive a little bit deeper into, you talked about Coaches Kenny's family, but will we see a little bit of his background this season and how might his past experiences shape his coaching?
I said that's another good question. I'm not sure how much of that we'll see.
Okay.
Um, well, of course I am sure, but how much can I tell you? I
Okay.
can't tell you. So much. But we will see a little bit more, quite a bit more of Coach Kenny's journey and what he's dealing with and how he balances the life of GAU and his personal life.
With All American Narragate's 100th episode milestone, how has it been? What has been the most memorable moment for you personally while playing Coach Kenny on the show?
Day one, day one, episode 405. Yeah, I think it was 405, not 415. Yeah,
Yeah,
405.
4 5, yeah.
Uh, meeting meeting Spencer, just that spark, because honestly, that was the first time I met Daniel Ezra,
Mm,
and the relationship between he and I, and the relationship between Coach Kenny and Spencer is very similar. There's a lot of respect, a lot of love there, one for the other. So that first day was extremely pivotal because I got to not only um, bring a character to life that I enjoy and I love, but I got to be a part of the family
Mm.
and the All-American family under the leadership of NK. I got to be a part of a world that I truly respect, admire, enjoy, um, and love to grow with.
What do you think sets All American apart from other shows? Typically from like, I feel like I always used to say this, but I feel like All American was this generation's Friday Night Lights, because in ways we used to
Mm,
have that back in the day, but we didn't have that.
yeah,
So seeing this was
yeah.
like a fresh thing, because especially as a Black lead, is other stuff. So what do you think sets this apart from seeing other football shows or sports shows in general?
Well, what you just said, having it being a Black lead, so that makes it much more relatable, much more authentic, and the story is very relatable because that's the story of a lot of the young men that's in the NFL right now. The majority in NFL is are young Black men, right? So many young Black men in underprivileged neighborhoods or in the hood, quote unquote, they have these kind of feelings, and it's giving them a glimpse of what could be and who they are. And it's speaking to issues with who they are, with having an absent dad and having just really present mother and all of these things that's going on, and having your coach be a father figure. That's why I believe it resonates so much because not only just the men, but the young women too. With a relationship of loving and um, wanting to support your boyfriend and
Mhm.
trying to find yourself within the whole thing and all of the different dynamics that go with being a coming of age story. I think that's why it's doing so well because it tells the truth. And I credit the writing team for being authentic and real. And that's why we love the fans because the comments,
Oh,
it's
they are
amazing.
something else.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, especially like what drew you to this project in the first place?
The story.
Mhm,
The story. This is a story that I could relate to as a young athlete. I played football myself
mhm,
all the way up through college. So to see a story like this being told and having it be based on inspired by the true life of Spencer Singer, it was really intriguing. But again, to my last point, to see how authentic the stories are, how deep they go into the experience of young men and young Black men in
mhm,
particular, I and male relationships, that's me all day. That's something that I love to do. That's my whole purpose in being in this industry as an actor is to show and highlight different aspects and facets of male relationships um, and how empowering that can be. So this show was right in line with it all.
mhm. With such a diverse and talented cast, what has been the most rewarding aspect of just working along your fellow actors of All American? Like you mentioned with, Daniel.
Honestly, seeing Daniel direct,
Oh, yes.
seeing Daniel direct, I mean, just understanding his journey from episode one, season one to now, watching, being a part of his episode in 515,
Mhm,
season five, episode 15,
mhm,
and then, excuse me, watching him direct um, the 100th episode,
mhm,
it's just super rewarding for me, knowing the work that he puts in, knowing his dedication, knowing his level of preparation, knowing all the things he has to juggle as the actor and as the director, and then his own personal life.
mhm.
Watching the fruit of that labor is really rewarding for me.
Aside from All American, what is exciting about you joining the cast of Landman on Paramount Plus? I heard that you're starring as a recurring, cast member. So how's that experience been for you?
Oh, it's been amazing, sis. I tell you, it's been really fun because it's a completely different world. Working with Taylor Sheridan is somebody that is an experience in its own, and that's somebody that I definitely wanted to work with for a long time. and being a part of this story, working alongside Billy Bob Thornton, John Hamm, Demi Moore. Um, it is an experience that I'm cherishing thoroughly. I'm currently here in Texas now,
Mm,
working, um, and just being a part of this whole oil world, and understanding the industry and how it affects us on a daily on a daily basis is enlightening. But to tell the story of these oil rig workers, the roughnecks and these guys, and seeing what they deal with, I have a whole different level of respect and love for what they do, and admiration for what they do. So this experience outside of just being an actor, but just what I get to do personally
mm.
is amazing.
Is there anything you want to say to people that are fans of All American and are fans of your work? Just something to say, like, thank you, or anything that you have, for them watching the show and continuing to support you in general too as well.
Uh, nah, I'm good. Of course, of course. Um, just understand how much I truly love each and every one of you that have been rocking with me from the beginning. And if you've been rocking with me for a while, the beginning spans almost 20 years ago. But if you're just, learning about me now through All American or through, some recent work, thank you for your support. Thank you for your genuine love, because it all feels very, very genuine. And stay tuned and understand, when you see me, please see yourself, see the greatness and the tenacity and the work ethic that is within you. Use what I'm doing, where I'm from, my story, as an example of what is possible, not only for yourself, but people you care about. Remember that.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, congratulations again on season 6 premiere. Waiting to see the rest of all your episodes you're in, and just enjoy your time in Texas filming and everything.
Yeah, no, then thank you. Look, listen to me. Kimberly, right? I'm saying it right?
Yes, yes.
That's right. Keep doing what you're doing, sis. I've
Thank
watched
you.
your interviews, I've watched your work,
Oh, don't make me cry.
and your professionalism, your professionalism, your depth of questions, your preparation, your heart, your confidence in doing what you do. Keep it up,
Thank
because
you.
you're an inspiration, and you are you are very, very inspiring.
Thank you. I feel side note, everyone calls me, my friends lately been calling me the AA girl because I go after all the, like, I'm going after you guys, like the A, because like I love interviewing y'all and I watch the show like from the start. So it's like
Mm,
a dream right now just to get different people now and people calling me and stuff. So, thank you for taking the time to talk to me because you didn't have to, it's really appreciated. I don't want to cry,
yeah.
but thank
Hey,
you.
it is what it is, but none of this is by happenstance. None of this is by mistake. It's all aligned, and there's a reason why you're talking to us the way you are. There's a whole
Thank
lot more for you in store.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
You have a
All right,
good
enjoy the
one.
rest of your night.
You
All
too.
right.